Years after I am Tiger Woods, we're still asking, who is Tiger Woods? Tiger Woods is open about his golf but a closed book when it comes to his life. Opinion: Tiger Woods published a book this spring, the 1997 Masters, My Story. It came 16 years after his first effort as an author, How I Play Golf. In between, he won tournaments and made money and became an icon, and he had no need to write. The old book is about a single pursuit, playing a sport well. The new book is about a single event, in which he played that sport at its highest level. Now, stacked side by side on a shelf, the volumes feel especially narrow, not more than slivers of a life. They reveal only what the author wants revealed. They are examples of how Woods has tried to conduct his life, as public a life as there is, for 2 decades. There are now, of course, videos that have nothing to do with the aspects of Woods' life that he wants everyone to consume. In all honesty, they aren't shocking, not in the way a rubbernecking society seems to want them to be. But there is Tiger Woods, in a Nike t-shirt and black athletic shorts, wobbling on the side of the road in Florida, slurring his speech, unable to answer the simplest questions, such as where he was at the moment. Tiger Woods struggles to keep his eyes open as he is led away in handcuffs. There is a reason Woods, one of the most recognizable athletes on the planet and arguably the greatest golfer in history, was driving at 3 a.m. on Memorial Day, why he pulled over and fell asleep in his own car.
Damn.
We don't know it, not yet anyway. But somewhere, there is an explanation. This sad scene, and that's what it is, sad, is now part of Woods' public story, somewhere alongside his 14 major championships, somewhere alongside his serial adultery and subsequent divorce, somewhere alongside his worldwide brand, someone alongside efforts to be the best father he can be to his 2 young children. The voyeurs who waited breathlessly for the Jupiter Police Department to release the dashcam video of Woods' arrest were hoping for. What, exactly? More embarrassment? Evidence that a man who can no longer comfortably or competitively swing a golf club, who has undergone 4 back surgeries, had fallen to depths we couldn't have foreseen a decade ago. Maybe the worst of us want that. But the rest of us, it seems, are just looking to fill in the gaps. For a figure who has lived his entire life in public, his father put him on the Mike Douglas show at 2 years old, on That's Incredible at 5. The holes in Woods' story are wide. This is true even as Woods, with the end of his career closer than the start, has been more open about his life in his interactions with the media. He obviously derives joy from being with his children. He has shown the ability to be reflective about his career. Even if he opens the window just a crack, it's a crack more than he once did, enough to allow a bit of a breeze to blow through. But take the 1997 Masters as an example, both broadly and specifically. It's telling that, when Woods decided to write a new book, he chose a single tournament. It was, of course, a signature athletic achievement with societal overtones. The book's publication fell on an anniversary, 20 years on. But given the scope of Woods' career, of his impact on his sport and his struggles off the course, it felt intentionally narrow, purposefully ignoring insight he might have brought to his maturation process, to living in a bubble for his whole life, to the gaps left in his story along the way. Seven of the 11 chapters in Woods' book deal only with specific days. Chapter 4, Tuesday, April 8, 1997. He won the tournament by 12 shots, a record, yet the level of detail he poured into the putt he faced on the final hole, going off the trough, it started left, and I read it that it would immediately take a quick right after a foot and a half, would be astonishing in the moment, much less 2 decades later. What we have wanted, over all this time, is that detail applied not to a golf shot, but to Woods' life, his emotions, to issues much more significant than the execution of a putt. After more than 2 pages on a putt he could have missed 10 times and still won, Woods devoted 1 paragraph to his post-tournament interaction with Lee Elder, the first African-American golfer to play in the Masters. Why not flip-flop the number of words spent on the putt for the number of words spent on Elder's fight and its impact on Woods? This, in a way, is how Woods has presented his life publicly, all the detail you can imagine about a single golf shot, little of the richness and depth about personal relationships. When he talks about getting back on the PGA Tour, he talks about mixing it up with the guys. But who are his real friends? Which brings us to Memorial Day weekend, to the DUI. We know from police reports that Woods' breathalyzer tests from that night showed he had not been drinking. But we also know, both from the police reports and the video, that he clearly wasn't right. Was it a one-night mix-up with prescription meds, and a subsequent bad reaction? Or, for someone with so many surgeries, is there a problematic relationship with the drugs he takes to recover? Isolated or chronic, the depths of Woods' problems can't be known, not without his participation in telling the story. A statement he released Monday night said he understands the severity of what he did, that he takes responsibility, that he apologizes to family, friends and fans. But what we want in this instance is what we have always wanted from Woods, a full view. So that's what we're waiting for. Woods can't currently play golf, not after his latest back surgery in April. It would make sense if his next public appearance would be right here, at the Quicken Loans National later this month. But his team can't yet say whether he'll travel to Washington for the tournament that's run by and benefits his foundation. So we are left hoping that the explanation comes, and when it does, that it provides honesty and insight. Accepting responsibility for a public figure requires an embracing of his own deeds, whatever they might be. The postscript to Woods' latest book begins, and so, by the 3rd paragraph, he is frank in his assessment of his marriage and the reasons for its collapse. "I betrayed her," he writes of his ex-wife, Eleanor Degran. "My dishonesty and selfishness caused her intense pain. Ellen and I tried to repair the damage I had done, but we couldn't. My regret will last a lifetime." Reading that, even 7 years after his divorce, feels raw, such a rare quality for anything uttered by Woods. Do the events of last weekend merit such a heavy, personal assessment? We can't yet say. But whatever happens in Tiger Woods' life, that's what we yearn for, the opening of a vein so we can understand who he is, not just what he has done.